Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to witness is not just another wrestling segment. This is the moment when three absolute monsters collided backstage and tore the entire foundation of WWE Monday Night Raw to shreds. I'm talking about Brock Lesnar, the Beast incarnate himself, going face to face with two of the most dangerous rising forces in professional wrestling today, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. This wasn't a scheduled match. This wasn't part of the script. This was pure, unfiltered chaos, and by the time this video ends, you're going to understand why this moment will be talked about for years to come. So buckle up, because SLAMZONE is about to take you inside the most brutal backstage brawl of 2025. Before we dive into the carnage, I need you to do something for me. If you love wrestling, if you live for these moments of absolute insanity, hit that subscribe button right now. Join the SLAMZONE family because we break down the biggest moments, the most shocking twists, and the matches that leave you speechless. Ring that notification bell so you never miss when legends collide and chaos erupts. Trust me, you're going to want to be here for what's coming. Now let's get into this. You have to understand where this all started. Brock Lesnar is a name that needs no introduction. The man is a walking wrecking ball, a former UFC heavyweight champion, a multi-time WWE champion, and someone who has dominated everyone who has ever stepped in his path. When Brock Lesnar shows up, people get hurt. That's not a threat, that's a promise that's been delivered time and time again. He's suplexed giants, he's made champions look like amateurs, and he's built a legacy on destruction. But here's where things get interesting. Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker are not your typical rising stars. These are two men who have been on an absolute tear, destroying everything in their path, making statements week after week that they are the future of WWE. Bronson Reed, this 300-pound tsunami from Australia, has been flattening opponents with his devastating tsunami splash, a move so brutal that it's put multiple superstars on the shelf. The man moves like a freight train and hits like a nuclear bomb. He's hungry, he's dangerous, and he's been making it very clear that he doesn't respect the old guard. Then you have Bron Breakker, the second-generation superstar, the son of wrestling royalty Rick Steiner, carrying the legacy of the legendary Steiner brothers on his massive shoulders. This kid, and I say kid with respect because he's only in his mid-20s, is an absolute genetic freak. He's got the power, the speed, the intensity, and that Steiner bloodline running through his veins. He's been throwing grown men around like they're nothing, delivering those devastating spears that look like they're breaking people in half. Bron Breakker isn't just the future, he believes he's the present, and he's been demanding respect from everyone, including the so-called legends. So you've got two young lions who believe it's their time, and you've got the beast who isn't ready to hand over his throne to anyone. The tension has been building for weeks. You could feel it in the air. Every time these three men were even mentioned in the same sentence, you knew something was going to explode. And on this episode of Monday Night Raw, leading up to Crown Jewel, the powder keg finally ignited. The cameras catch it as it's already starting to unfold backstage. You can hear the commotion, the sound of bodies crashing into equipment, voices shouting, and then boom, there he is, Brock Lesnar, in his ring gear, eyes locked on target, and that target is Bronson Reed. The footage is raw, it's shaky, it's real. This isn't some carefully choreographed segment with perfect camera angles. This is chaos captured in the moment, and you can feel the energy radiating through the screen. Bronson Reed is standing his ground. This 300-pound monster isn't backing down from anyone, not even Brock Lesnar. You can see the defiance in his eyes, the refusal to show any fear. Reed starts talking trash, getting right in Brock's face, and you know what happens when someone disrespects the beast incarnate. Brock doesn't waste time with words. He grabs Reed and the two behemoths start throwing hands right there in the middle of the backstage area. The sound of fists connecting, the grunts of impact, it's visceral. These aren't worked punches, these are two men who want to hurt each other. Brock grabs Reed and slams him into a production crate. The impact echoes through the corridor. Equipment goes flying. Crew members are scrambling to get out of the way because when these kinds of athletes collide, there is no safe zone. But wait, here comes Bron Breakker, charging into the frame like a locomotive. He's not about to let Brock Lesnar get the upper hand on his ally. Breakker launches himself at Brock, driving him backward into the concrete wall. The collision is sickening. You can hear it, you can feel it. Bron starts unloading with those heavy hands, strikes that would put normal men to sleep. But Brock Lesnar isn't a normal man. He shoves Breakker off with explosive power, and now it's a 2-on-1 situation, and even for Brock Lesnar, those are dangerous odds. Reed recovers and now both men are circling Brock like wolves hunting prey. The camera is trying to keep up, security is rushing to the scene but they're hesitant to get involved because who in their right mind wants to step between these three monsters? Reed charges in and Brock catches him with a brutal knee to the midsection that doubles the big man over. But before Brock can capitalize, Breakker is on him again, delivering clubbing blows to the back of Lesnar's head. This is where you see the veteran instincts of Brock Lesnar kick in. He's been in street fights, he's been in cage matches, he's been in battles that would break lesser men. He spins around and catches Bron Breakker with a short-range punch that snaps his head back. Then with one smooth motion, Brock hoists Breakker up and drives him down onto a stack of equipment cases with a spine buster that makes everyone watching wince. The sound of Bron's body hitting those cases is brutal. But Bronson Reed isn't done. He comes charging in like a runaway train and spears Brock right through a curtain divider. Both men crash through to the other side, landing in a heap of broken fabric and metal framework. You can hear the crowd in the arena reacting to this on the monitors. They know something huge is happening backstage and the energy is electric. The camera crew is running to keep up. trying to capture every second of this mayhem. Brock and Reed are both getting to their feet, trading heavy strikes. These are shots that would hospitalize regular people. Reed lands a massive headbutt that staggers Brock backward. Blood is starting to show, a cut above Brock's eye from the impact. The sight of blood only seems to make Brock angrier. He roars, that primal beast incarnate roar, and charges at Reed with a double-leg takedown that would make his old UFC coaches proud. He takes Reed down to the concrete floor and starts raining down hammer fists. Meanwhile, Bron Breakker is recovering, shaking off that spine buster, and you can see the fire in his eyes. He's not retreating, he's not calling for help, he's looking for something, anything to use as a weapon. He grabs a steel chair leaning against the wall. Security is shouting at him to drop it, officials are trying to restore order, but nobody is listening. This has gone beyond a fight, this is a war. If you're watching this and your heart is racing like mine is, do me a favor right now. Smash that like button because this is the content that makes SLAMZONE your home for wrestling breakdowns. We're only halfway through this insanity and I promise you, it gets even more intense. Subscribe if you haven't already, drop a comment telling me who you think would win in a one-on-one match between any of these three beasts, and share this video with every wrestling fan you know because moments like this don't happen every day. Bron Breakker raises that steel chair high and brings it crashing down toward Brock Lesnar's back, but Brock moves at the last second and the chair connects with Bronson Reed's shoulder instead. Reed roars in pain and anger. The situation is deteriorating even further. Now Reed is furious at Breakker for the accidental hit. There's a moment of confusion, a split second where the alliance between Reed and Breakker seems to crack, and Brock Lesnar, the opportunistic predator that he is, sees it. Brock explodes with a German suplex on Bron Breakker, sending the young superstar flying backward into a loading dock door. The metallic bang echoes through the entire backstage area. Then before Reed can fully react, Brock spins and delivers a devastating F5 right there on the concrete floor. Bronson Reed's massive body crashes down and doesn't move. The camera zooms in on Reed's face, eyes closed, completely out. But Brock isn't finished. He turns his attention back to Bron Breakker who is trying to get up, blood now trickling from his mouth, determination still burning in his eyes despite the punishment he's absorbed. You have to respect the toughness of Bron Breakker in this moment. He's taken suplexes on concrete, he's been thrown through equipment, and he's still trying to fight. That Steiner bloodline refuses to quit. Brock stalks toward Breakker like a predator closing in for the kill. Security finally manages to get between them, a wall of officials and agents forming a barrier. Adam Pearce, the Raw general manager, is shouting orders, demanding that everyone separate. Medical personnel rush to check on Bronson Reed who still hasn't moved. The entire backstage area looks like a war zone. Equipment is destroyed, there's blood on the floor, and three of WWE's most dangerous superstars have just torn each other apart. The camera captures Brock Lesnar's face, blood dripping from the cut above his eye, chest heaving with exertion, but that cold, calculated look in his eyes tells you everything you need to know. The Beast Incarnate just reminded everyone why he's the most dangerous man in WWE. He didn't back down from two young lions trying to take his spot. He walked into a 2-on-1 situation and he left both men broken. But here's what makes this moment so significant. Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, despite the beating they took, proved something too. They proved they're not afraid of Brock Lesnar. They proved they're willing to go to war with a living legend. And most importantly, they proved that the future of WWE is in very dangerous hands. Yes, Brock won this battle, but this feels like just the beginning of something much bigger. As medical staff help Reed to his feet and Breakker refuses assistance, pushing away the trainers and glaring at Brock with pure hatred, you can feel it. This isn't over. Crown Jewel is coming, and after what we just witnessed, the landscape of Monday Night Raw has completely changed. These three men are on a collision course, and when they finally meet in that ring, in a sanctioned match with rules and a referee, it's going to be absolute carnage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we love professional wrestling. This is why we tune in every single week. Because when you get athletes of this caliber, with this much intensity, this much pride, and this much to prove, magic happens. Brutal, violent, unforgettable magic. Brock Lesnar just sent a message to the entire roster. Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker sent a message right back. Nobody is safe, nobody is untouchable, and the war for supremacy on Monday Night Raw is just getting started. Before you go, I need you to do something for me one more time. Hit that like button if this breakdown got your blood pumping. Subscribe to SLAMZONE because we're going to be covering every moment, every twist, and every brutal second as this story continues to unfold. Comment below with your predictions for Crown Jewel. Will Brock continue his dominance? Will Reed and Breakker get their revenge? I want to hear your thoughts. And please, share this video with your wrestling family because content like this needs to be seen. This is SLAMZONE, where legends collide and we break down every earth-shattering moment. Thank you for watching, thank you for being part of this incredible community, and I'll see you in the next video where we continue to bring you the most intense wrestling analysis on YouTube. Stay fierce, stay passionate, and never stop believing in the power of professional wrestling. Until next time, this has been SLAMZONE, and what a moment we just witnessed together.